opinion. Is ethics your religion?
Yes, it is.
How? Why?
Why? Because for me, ethical culture in particular has brought a philosophy and a religion that makes the most sense to me on a feeling level and on an intellectual level. And because it's open to new ideas and new change.
What religion did you grow up with?
I was Catholic.
And why did you switch?
Because it wasn't making logical sense to me. I couldn't make sense of the dogma. It just seemed illogical and not true, not real to me. In an emotional way, certainly some of the ethics that were taught were fine and were kind of self-evident in terms of practice, and those are things that I've carried over in terms of ethical humanism.
It's something that really adds meaning to what would otherwise be a very confusing and troubling kind of existence here. You know, I mean, when there's some sense of there's a goal to be strived for, an ethical goal, that gives me the sense that there's some reason to do what we do.
And most of all, I enjoy the kind of people that I see each week as I go. And that kind of keeps me going because I enjoy meeting and seeing new people and friends.
Why is it my religion? Because I think that ethical values and ideals are the most important things in the whole world. And I think that what you commit yourself to is most important. You can also think of as your religion.
What religion did you grow up with?
I grew up, my religious training was as an Orthodox Jew. And ethnically and culturally, I still consider myself Jewish. But from the point of view of belief, I find the values that the ethical culture movement puts forward in many ways to be more reasonable for me.
And I think the ethics is basically a commitment to man's highest ideal, to perfection and absolute fulfillment of what man could possibly do. And ethical culture is the way you can achieve that. Man, as with the ancient Greeks, when they practiced the first humanist religions, they made it so that man wasn't just an insignificant little thing on the face of the earth. Man actually meant something and he could do something. I believe that's what ethical culture is all about.
Thanks.
If you say that ethics is a religion, that would be a kind of a shorthand for what I believe. I think that people and the meaning and ethical values that they create are an ultimate and very interesting possibility in the universe. What I mean is that the ethical values and the world that people can make for themselves is the most important issue to which we can devote ourselves. I guess there's a kind of a faith in that we are basically optimistic and believe in progress when we say ethics is a religion. But I also think there's an open-endedness and an opportunity for people to make whatever kind of world they want to.
Okay, thank you.
Ethical humanism is my religion. And it is a religion to me because it's a dedication to the things that I think are most high and valuable to me. And that is a dedication to the welfare of human beings.
A religion in the sense of I feel a certain loyalty to it. I feel a responsibility to work with it because I think that some of the issues that the ethical culture movement stands for are very close to my heart.
Such as?
Well, such as peace and affirmative action. I think that it really represents the love that we seem to be missing in so many places in the world. We just don't seem to get enough of that.
You know, the peers I have who are from other religious backgrounds, when I do talk to them, the one thing that we do come into a common agreement about are basic human principles. When we put, you know, the questions of, you know, God aside and, you know, the Bible and 10 Commandments, and we just start talking from ourselves, that the one thing that we do have in common is the basic goodness that we're all looking for and that we can all agree upon. So in terms of that, a spiritualness that is in common with everyone, I think ethics is the basic of it all.
Because I feel it reflects a basic belief in people, that people are good, that they have a goodness in them that doesn't come from belief in some God or supreme being, but the good is here, and given the opportunity and the right climate almost, that they'll be good. That they want to help other people, that they want to reach out, and that they're basically kind and honest, and that they almost enjoy helping other people. And I think I always believed that people were good. And people always said, but you're a Pollyanna, and this is crazy, you're going to get hurt. But I'm close to 60, and I'm still surviving. And I think it gives us, that we get joy out of life by helping other people, working with other people, relating to other people, and making them happy.
Thank you.
Way of life, of how one chooses to live one's life. And for me, it's important that I live my life and others live their lives, if possible, with regard for individuals as human beings. I feel that every individual human being has potential for being better and for helping others to make this world a better place to live. Ethics play a role in that for me, in that we need ethics in that we have an ability to determine how to make life work better, what guidelines we can draw upon that respects others as well as ourselves, and making our choices, allow to use ethics in making decisions, making choices, and how we live.
Do you celebrate this religion in a specific way?
I find, I guess, it's celebrated as it works. It's something that you feel good about when it turns out to be a fulfilling event. That you have made the ethical choice that leads you to satisfaction, and you feel good. And I guess that's where it's celebrated. I don't have a ritual in that sense that I have a time of the year where I set aside for that.
I was born kind of into ethical culture. There are very few people, I guess, who are born into it as a religion, and in that sense, I'm an exception. I went to the ethical culture schools, the Sunday school, the summer camp, and it's been part of my life, and I just kind of accepted it as a way of life in, I guess, the ways that people do what they do to find enjoyment in life, and just living a certain way and treating people a certain way has given me a kind of fulfillment. And in that sense, it's a day-to-day religion, and it works for me. It's not something that you do on a Sunday in any token sense, and then you go and steal hubcaps Monday through Friday. It's a day-to-day thing, and I think anything that you believe in on a day-to-day basis is your religion. So I think people as a concept and as an entity have always been number one in the ethical movement. Any other belief, that's up to you. But if you hold people as the highest and have a genuine belief in people, which partially requires accepting them as they are, not as an ideal. I mean, everybody has ideals here and realities down here, and the frustration is trying to squeeze the two together, which can never be. And when you accept things for what they are in their real state, and have the ideal as something you aspire to, and you work toward that ideal, then you can accept all people as they are and work with them to bring out the best in them. And as they say, when you bring out the best in others, you do bring out the best in yourself.
As my religion, I think, comes from something that Felix Adler, the founder of ethical culture, said. He talked about treating people based on their inherent worth as human beings, rather than based on the value that they are to you. And I try to keep that thought foremost in my mind in my day-to-day encounters with people. In other words, when I meet somebody, I don't look upon that person as, say, a secretary whose value is measured by the fact that she might take dictation and type letters for me, but that I try to interact with her as a human being, and that secondarily she's a secretary who has to fulfill her function, but that regardless of the function, that she's a valuable person with an inherent amount of worth just by virtue of her being a human being.
Thank you.
I think of religion as that which guides my life and which gives meaning to my life, which gives me the ultimate meaning for my life. And I think that ethics is the thing that most, the word comes to me, sings to me, that it's the thing that constantly drives me, it constantly challenges me every day in my life, in all of my relationships, within my family and with my friends and in my community, that it's ethics and how I behave in those relationships that is the most crucial working out of what I believe and who I am and the meaning of my life. And ultimately, I think for each of us, you know, we are alone in the universe. We have only ourselves. Everything else is transitory in our lives. And so we have to come to grips with the meaning in our own lives. And for me, that meaning revolves around ethics and relationships.
The word religion comes from the same root that ligament comes from. Legare. Relegare is to reconnect. And my religion, my ethical religion, connects me to my friends, to my family, to the people I work with, to people I meet every day of my life. And the ethical aspect of my religion guides me in every interaction. It supplies the meaning, the purpose, and the reason for living the good life. That's it.
Yeah, I think religion comes down to what you believe and how you show that belief. For traditional religions, you might believe in a God, and you might show that belief by going to church and worshiping. And ethics as a religion, your beliefs are more in your fellow man. You have to show your beliefs in how you act, how you relate to people, and how you work to make the world a better place to live in.
I've come to that way of thinking for more than 50 years, and it just seems very fundamental to me to have a religion that is not committed to some specific way of looking at the hereafter or God, or but to look at life as it is, and how do you move in this life in a fair way with respect to others, to contribute, and not ask too much what the Lord would do for me, but what one might do for people.
Thank you. Very good.
Well, it's a religion for me because it provides moral guidance and an understanding of the reasons for pursuing certain moral issues and moral ethics. And I got into it because I wanted my children to learn about morality and to appreciate all of humanity without being required to believe something just because someone said they had to believe it. I wanted them to understand why they believed it, and I wanted them to have some kind of guidelines for all of their lives that really could apply to all of humanity and not just segments of humanity, but could be useful, you know, universally useful.
And to me, human beings are the most important aspect of me and my life and my religion. For me, individually, ethics plays an important part whenever I have to make a decision and I look into myself. But also, it helps with interactions with other people and the kind of energy that I get from human interaction. So I see ethics instead of something out here, it's between people. you and I. So ethics is important for me as an individual. It's important for me as I interact with another human being, and something happens between us that I call ethical energy or something like that. And then together, with a lot of us getting together and getting this energy and respecting the dignity and the worth of each one of us in our human lives, I found that good things happen, and that's the way good things get done, is because of this energy. You get more and more people together, you get more and more energy, the respect is given, you're respected for who you are as an individual, and you celebrate the diversity of all the individuals. And so it becomes a wider kind of thing. But then back in the moments when I'm by myself, I take the energy from the people that I have been interacting with, and that gives me strength to face the dark moments, the hard times, the times that will always be there. But I have the energy because I know there's other human beings out there. And that's important to me in my life, just one step at a time.
It wasn't handed to me on a silver platter. It was something that I had to think about. I had to come to meetings. I had to listen to talks on WQXR. And then I went to different societies to hear the various leaders speak and other people, and it started to evolve for me, and it is still evolving. I find that ethics as a religion is a road. I am not finding, like other religions want to find the truth. I am finding the road by which I can be a better person, be more caring for other people, and the interaction with other people, which is very important to me. So to me, ethics is my religion. I live it every day. I try very, very hard to make sure that I try and work so that to elicit the best in others. And strangely enough, I have grown tremendously in the last couple of years, so it has elicited the best in me also, which is what Felix Adler, the founder of the Ethical Society, held as one of the imperatives, that was very important to try and do. And I feel that I am living ethical culture, but growing every day.